this lesson. All right. So today what I'm gonna be going over is dispatch. I mean not dispatch, documents. All right. What do you need for you to successfully dispatch a semi truck? Now, I know everyone that's the main thing that they want to know. Hey, what documents do I need? But not only do you need those documents, but you need to know what they are there for, right? All right, so let's go through here. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you right now. Documents needed. These are the documents that you need to successfully dispatch the truck. You're gonna need that signed dispatch agreement. All right. Now just remember that if you do not have a signed dispatcher agreement, you are dispatching illegally. Okay. We don't need that. You're going to need a carrier profile sheet. What is a carrier profile sheet? That carrier profile sheet just shows what that truck is on paper, what they like to move, what they don't like to move, where they like to go, what they don't like, how much money they want to make, what type of equipment they got, so on and so forth. We also have the MC authority. Okay. The MC authority. What is that? The MC authority is a written document that shows you that this massive truck has the authority to drive on the interstate, okay? Or to drive on the roads, period. All right. So you want to make sure that you have that MC authority. We're going to go over why having that MC authority is super important later on in the training. You're also going to need that W-9, the W-9. Now, you're going to get that from the carrier, okay? You're going to get the W-9 from the carrier. You're also going to need the certificate of insurance, also known as a COI. Certificate of insurance, also known as a COI. We're going to go into certificate of insurance tonight as well. And if they have factoring, okay, we're also going to go over factoring. But in short, factoring is when uh, that particular company pays for the invoice at a discounted rate. So let's just say that it was $1,000. They would pay to the MC authority holder $1,000 minus, let's say, 3%. So now they would go to the shipper and they would get their money back from the shipper. Okay. They would get their money back from the shipper for them to have for them to make their profits. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is what an MC authority looks like. All right. This is what an MC authority looks like. Now you see on there, there's an MC number. There are two different separate MC numbers. Okay. You have an MC number that's for the broker, and then you have an MC number that is for the carrier. All right. Now you're going to get to a point. I'm going to teach you guys that later on as well. You're going to get to a point where you're able to exchange these numbers. So the broker is going to do a background check on the carrier, make sure that the carrier is safe, make sure that they're compliant with the FMCSA. Write that down, FMCSA. Learn that acronym, okay? Um, and they want to make sure that they're safe or that they deliver on time, things like that, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to end up doing a credit check on or a factoring check on the broker's um MC authority. Okay. So this right
Okay,
here,
Q, I have a question about that, Q.
go ahead.
Excuse me. How do we do the background check?
You're calling your factoring company and you're
Okay,
giving the factoring company the uh you're giving the factoring company the MC authority number. And then they're gonna tell you yay or nay. Okay. So if they say
okay,
no, what that means is that they're not going to pay that carrier in 24 hours. They're not going to pay that carrier at all. So that carrier is going to have to wait to get it from the shipper, okay? Or do quick pay in which they get it from the broker. If they're waiting to get it from the shipper, that comes down to what's referred to as days to pay. That days to pay could be 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. It could be anywhere in there. And that what that means is that when the shipper pays out, then they're going to pay the carrier directly. Now, if you're using a factoring company, the factoring company is going to purchase that invoice at a discounted rate, and then they're going to get their money back from the shipper. Okay, from the shipper. COI, Certificate of Insurance. Certificate of Insurance. What is this? Why won't you let me? Here we go. What is this? This right here is a very, very important document, and you want to make sure that you have this, but all of them are important documents, right? So your certificate of insurance is going to have your agent's number. Oh, well, I said agent's number on that side. I'm sorry. Agent's name and number right here. And then the insured or the insured is going to be your carrier. All right. Now it's important for you to get the name, number, and email address um, from that, and let your carrier know that you will be making changes as far as the certificate holder to let the insurance company know that that's what you're planning on doing, and not to give you any other authorization to be able to change the values or anything like that at the on the insurance policy. Okay. Now, as you see over here, that says 1 million. That says 1 million. Okay. I said 70, I said 75 the other day. I forgot who I was telling somebody. I was talking to him and I was saying 75 for some reason. And I just realized that I was giving them a different quote. So it's 750,000 for the overall insurance. Okay. But it's going to be 1 million. All right. Now that million is going to cover whatever is legal. Most brokers are going to work with you at the million. Okay. At the million. Now, whenever you start to get a load, you're going to end up having to call down here uh, to get this changed out. So when you get that certificate holder changed out, that's going to be whatever the brokerage is that you're working with. So if that brokerage is let's say TQL, then it's going to be TQL's information that is down there, and you will submit this to TQL. Here we go
Oh,
to
wait,
go ahead.
I have a question for you.
Mhm.
How do we get the certificate holder's name changed?
Okay, so that's when you're going to call the agent, or your carrier is going to call the agent, and they're going to let them know, like, hey, usually it's the name and the address of the brokerage. Okay. So what you would do is you would call the agent and you would let the agent know, hey, I wanted to update the certificate of insurance. We never ran for them before. They'll know exactly what you're talking about and they'll make the changes for you, which that change will be at the bottom of the sheet. When that change is at the bottom of the sheet, they will email it to you or email it to your carrier, and your carrier will get it back to you or back to the broker, however you guys, decided as to who's doing what. Okay. Because sometimes, you're taking on all the load. Other times, people don't want that much of themselves. So they'll say, okay, well, that much of themselves out. Right. So they'll say, okay, well, as far as the factory, I'll take care of the factory and I'll take care of the COI. You take care of this. Right. So, W-9, you need a W-9 from that carrier for that year. Okay. W-9 for that carrier for that year, unless it's the top of the year. If it's at the top of the year, you can use the one from last year. Okay. I always look for EIN or TINs. I really don't like doing business with people that has their social security number here instead of a TIN or EIN. Now we
Why is
could go
that?
because of how it was set up, right? Like a lot of people don't know that you don't even need um a LLC to set up your business, right? You can set up your business using your social security number. However, that is not where LLC comes in, is that's a limited liability um company, right? So what that does is if someone was to sue you, it stops them from coming and taking your personal assets, your house, your home, things like that. However, if you use your social security number, it's nothing stopping that. There's no insurance, right? That in there that's protecting your person, right? Your personal belongings. They're not trying to take your doggone wife and kids with it, right? So when I see someone that has their social there versus having a EIN, a lot of the times I would talk to them and let them know, like, hey, you may want to go set up and get your your LLC, get your EIN, even if you're just doing like a sole proprietorship, get set up and then get an EIN so you can move that away from yourself, right? So I would advise them of that. And if they chose not to, that's just not the type of person that I would want to do business with. Someone that's just taking the risk. I would rather deal with someone that, they're serious about what they're doing.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Um, I was gonna go over